Oh, hey everybody! In this video, we're going to talk about how to believe in yourself when it seems like nobody else will. Because there's been times in my business journey where my family was not supportive of my business. Like my sister, I remember her saying that I shouldn't quit my day job. I need to focus on my on my 9 to 5. Yeah, she said I need to focus on my 9 to 5, and I shouldn't pursue my blogging business and print business. She said it was a waste of time. Like, she kept telling me how I was wasting my time. And then I was with my husband's family and my brother-in-law. I said that, oh, he said, how much did you make in your blog last month? And he kind of was giggling under his breath. And I said, well, I made $1.50. And he started laughing. He said, don't quit your day job, because I had people very unsupportive of my business. And my husband was very unsupportive at first. Like, he was complaining about all the money I was spending on courses, because I spent like $5,000 on courses. And he like complained about it. He says, oh, we need that money to spend on our family. We can't, keep buying all these courses. You're kind of wasting your money. And the first year I was like negative money in my business. I spent more than I made. And my husband was super unsupportive of my business venture. He like told me that I needed to focus on my 9 to 5, just like my sister said, and everybody was kind of against me. Because I come from a long line of 9 to 5ers. Like, everybody in my family is a 9 to 5er. They're used to working for somebody else. And they found it very scary that I want to work for myself, and they didn't support that. So you might be in the same boat where your whole family is 9 to 5ers, and none of them are supportive of you and your entrepreneurial business. Because you're an entrepreneur if you're starting your own business and you're not wanting to work for somebody else. So that could be very scary to your family, because they're used to somebody paying you, and paying them. And then if you're doing your own business, then that can be super frightening, because especially, if you're starting your own business and you quit your day job, that could be very scary. Because I quit my day job, back in September of 2021. So I've been doing this full time ever since. And now it's 2023. So I had a full year and then maybe a year and a half of doing this myself. And at first I was very scared. I would stay up all night and wonder if I made the right decision, because I quit this job and it had lots of benefits. And I was like tossing and turning each night and wondering if I made the right decision. I was like, what, was that smart to quit this job? Should I have stayed in the job? And I was just like tossing and turning. And then my husband was like, oh, maybe you shouldn't have quit your job, because now you can't even sleep. And I was like, oh yeah, but then something inside me knew that I had to just keep on keeping on. And I kept believing in myself that I could do it. Just something inside me, said, you can't work for somebody else your whole life. I was getting carpal tunnel syndrome. I was working as a web developer, and I was getting carpal tunnel syndrome, and it was just horrible. And I just couldn't believe it. It was so difficult to work that way, and I was going to need hand surgery, because I was just coding like all day. I was actually hand coding code. I don't know if anybody out there has done that, but that's very stressful on your hands and your wrists and your fingers, and at the end of the day, my fingers were like swelling, because I was just working so much on the coding, and that's what I was doing. So I said, I can't do this my whole life, and I was trying to get into management so I wouldn't have to code, but nobody would hire me in management, because I guess I was a woman, and they only hired the men. So I was just scrambling. I was just really trying to get into management so I can like stop coding, maybe oversee people that do code, and I was really trying hard, and I kept putting in requests to be in management, and I kept getting denied. They wouldn't even give me an interview. They kept just giving the men the interview, not me. I didn't even get an interview, and I put in, for the management position, and they didn't even interview me. And my boss even put in a good word for me and everything, emailed the guy and told them how good of a person I was for the job. And I didn't even get one interview. I didn't even get a response, not even an email or nothing. I couldn't believe it. So that was my last hurrah, trying to get out of this coding and trying to get into management. But I just couldn't get into it. So that's why I decided to leave that job, because it was just going nowhere. It was like a dead-end job. Like, I was a senior level for like maybe 15 years, a senior level. And I just couldn't get into management. So that's why I decided to leave my job and focus on my business. But of course, I was very scared. Like, I was living in fear. Like, I didn't think I could do my job. I was just really frightened that I couldn't do it. So I was up all night, worrying when I first quit the job. and wondering if I made the right decision. But I just kept on, and then soon I made more than I was working at my job. I made like $20,000, and that's even more than what my job was paying, like $20,000 a month. And that was way more than the job was paying anyway. And then the next month I made even more money. And the next month I started making even more money. It just kept growing. But after a while it kind of stagnated. But still I was able to support my family with this business and pay the bills. A lot of businesses fail in the first year, or even the first 10 years businesses won't turn a profit. So the fact that my business is turning a profit and plus supporting me and my family for like over a year and a half now, that really says something. And if you're in the same boat, if you're really wanting to have a business of your own, but your family is against you, just don't listen to them. Just keep, focusing on your business and making time for yourself and your business. And what I would do, I would get up early each day before my job, because I had an hour commute, to Fort Worth. And then I had an hour commute back because the traffic is just obscene. It was actually a 30-minute drive, but the traffic made it like an hour because traffic in Fort Worth is horrible. It's like downtown. So I had to commute like an hour each way. Then it was like an hour back because the traffic was so terrible. So I was just sitting in the car. And so now during the car ride, I would just talk out loud and record my voice, and make blog posts. Because there's this app called Dragon, and you talk, it records your voice. There's lots of voice recorders out there too. You can just talk during your car ride, and it'll record your voice, or even like talk out loud some thoughts for your business, and it will record it as text. And later on, it will save it, and you can go through the text and maybe make a blog post or like whatever you were talking about, or even an outline for a course. Like you could just talk an outline for a course as you're driving to your job. That way you have the outline done at least, and maybe some course modules. Like you can have a text-based course and just talk, for each of the modules, and then it will record it for you. So you can even make a course on the way to your job. So there's a lot of things you can do on a commute. And plus, a lot of times I would listen to audiobooks on mindset and how to start a business. A lot of business podcasts and mindset podcasts. I would listen to that, just 'cause I was in the car for like 2 hours a day. So then on my lunch hour, I would work on my business too. I would leave. I had a laptop, because if you have a laptop at your job, that's really helpful. Because you could pick up the laptop and move into another office. There was all these empty offices for conferences. So I moved my laptop into an empty office conference room, and I started working on my business. Like I would make a printable, or like make a blog post during the day. And a lot of times I would get there really early in the morning, and everybody else got in at like 9 o'clock, but I would get there at like 8 o'clock. So a lot of times I would work on my business in the morning and before anybody showed up, because nobody else was there. Nobody else could see what I was doing. And plus I didn't have much work. It was as if I didn't have much work to do, because a lot of times I would get my work done really fast, and then I would use the downtime to work on my business. And then when COVID hit, like they made everybody work from home. So that was even better for my business, because I could work on my business when I had nothing to do, and nobody could see what I was doing anyway, because I was working from home. So I think that really exploded my business too, and really made it so I could end up doing this full time. So if you're in the same boat, like I would just keep on believing in yourself. It doesn't matter if nobody else will believe in you. As long as you believe in yourself, if you know in your heart that you can do your own business, then you just keep on doing it, and you like figure all the ways. Because I tried and failed so many times. Like I just kept failing and failing and failing, but I just didn't give up. I just kept on going, and I didn't listen to anybody, any naysayers. I just kept on going, and I didn't give up. And finally, I was able to grow a multiple six-figure business. And I rely on this for my livelihood. Like my family, I support my family with this business, and like I'm able to put my son in private school. I'm able to drive a Lexus. Like I have a very nice car, and I have like a really nice home, and my home's like just like tripled in price since we bought it. So we were able to afford to keep living here, because the property taxes have been going up really high in this area. So we're like really thankful for this business, because if I was working that 9 to 5 job, I probably couldn't afford to live here anymore, because I was getting paid a fixed income, and I wasn't able to be in charge of what I made, because I am in charge of what I make now. If I don't work on my business and make enough products, then I'm not going to make enough money for the month. So I'm really scrambling to make products every month, and I also do like re-releases. Like a lot of times I'll re-release courses. Like I made like I call it really good amount of money re-releasing transformational printables, and all I did was just like add some new content, and I sent it to affiliates, and then I was able to make a good amount of money, and that's from doing really nothing and just using an existing course that's already been made, and I just re-released it. You can do that too with your products. You can re-release your products that you already have, so you don't have to keep making new things like all the time. That's a really great idea, just to maximize what you have. Because I'm sure a lot of you have products, but you just aren't doing anything with them, and they're not getting sales. So you might want to put them on sale, or maybe bundle them up with another product and then put them for sale. I'm sure you could start making a lot of money, with what you have. Because I just have so many things, now. Like I've really grown my business to where I have, I probably have like over 1,000 products or more, probably even more than that. Because I'm always making new products like all the time, and also courses. Like I almost have like 20 courses. I'm just always making things, and you can just resell what you've already made. So if you're trying to do your business, like just keep on and don't give up. Like I know some of you out there are thinking, no, I just can't do this. I've been trying to grow this business, but just nothing's happening for me. But I think what it is your mindset. You may be telling yourself negative thoughts, like you're telling yourself that you can't do something. Because if you tell yourself you can't do something, then you're not going to be able to do it. So make sure you think positively and just think about what you can do and not what you can't do. Because if you keep telling yourself you can't do something, you're not going to be able to do it. So just keep on telling yourself that you can do it and you can make your business work. And if you tell yourself that, then it's going to happen for you. Believe me, because I was telling myself that I could do it, and I was doing all kinds of things, trying to taking different courses and just seeing what would stick and what wouldn't stick, and I was just trying a lot of different things. And then soon my business grew and grew and grew because I finally found something that works. I tried and failed so many times because I kind of failed my way to success. It didn't happen overnight. I ended up failing because if you fail enough, you'll think, hey, I'm not supposed to do it that way. I'm supposed to do it this way. Eventually you'll get successful. So if you fail, that's fine. You just keep on doing it. If you make mistakes, that's fine. You just keep learning from your mistakes and your failures. And eventually you'll be able to be successful. So just don't listen to anybody out there that's telling you that you can't do something, especially if you're telling yourself you can't do something. If you're telling yourself that, like, you have no shot. If you're saying, "Oh, I can't do this. I can't make a business." If you tell yourself that, then what's going to happen? Nobody else could help you because you're telling yourself that you can't do something. So therefore, you can't do it. So just start telling yourself that you can do it. And if you have some family members or friends saying, "Oh, what are you doing? Why are you working on your 9 to 5? Like, you need to be working on your 9 to 5. You shouldn't be working on your business." Well, just ignore them. Say, "No, I have a dream. I want to work for myself. I no longer want to work 9 to 5." Because believe me, if you don't have your own business, you don't know this freedom. I can't believe all this freedom that I have. I used to have to sit in meetings, like these annoying meetings, and I didn't have to do anything but just sit there and be on video during these meetings, like Zoom meetings. Especially during COVID, we had a lot of Zoom meetings. It seemed like during COVID, they really amped up the amount of Zoom meetings they had in this job. So I would just sit in hours and hours and hours of Zoom meetings, just sitting there. And I didn't have to talk or provide any input, maybe a few times, but it was just such a big waste of time just sitting there. And then I couldn't get any time off if a child was sick or I was sick. You only have a set number of sick days, because you know how it is at 9 to 5 jobs. They tell you have a certain amount of sick days and a set amount of vacation days, so it really limits your mobility, like what you can do. And I got so much freedom now. Like next month I'm going on a conference. Then the next month after that I'm going on a vacation. And I just came back from spring break in Hawaii. And there's no way I could get that much time off for my business. I mean, my 9 to 5 job, there was no way they would give me that much time off. But in my business, I'm able to, have as much time off as I need, and I could take off work if I want. Like I got to take my dog to the vet today, so I can just take off the work and go and bring my dog to the vet. I don't have to, ask for time off, like put in an email request or any of that bullshit. Like I can just immediately get up and say, "Oh, I'm going to the vet." I don't have to answer to anybody. You just know if you don't have your own business, you just don't know this freedom that, like, I have so much freedom now. I can't believe it. Like if I wanted to, I could just leave and go out to lunch. Like I'll probably do that after the training's over. I'm doing a training today. So after the training's over, I might just go out to lunch, and maybe spend the day shopping. Like I don't have to answer to anybody, but of course you got to do your work. If you have your own business, you have to make time to work. You can't just fritter your time away, because you do have to support your family and yourself with your business. So of course you got to make time to create products and have sales and all that. But still, you can have as much time as you want. So let's see if there's anybody has any questions or anything. So Deirdre says she thinks that's key, not giving up even when it's discouraging. Oh yes, Deirdre, when you give up, that's when you lose. Really, I was gonna give up my first year of blogging because I just wasn't making much money, and I just was like spending so much time, and I just felt like I was wasting my time. So but then I was thinking, no, I really need to keep on. And sure enough, I ended up getting enough traffic to get into Mediavine. That's a really top ad network. I just kept on trying, and I wouldn't give up. So then pretty soon I had enough traffic. Then I was making like $2,000 a month just from the ads. And then pretty soon I was making like another $1,000 from the affiliate marketing on my blog, because you just put like affiliate links on your blog. And when someone buys through the links, you can make money. So I started getting like over $1,000 with affiliate links. And then I started making products, and I started getting like sales for my products. And Deirdre says blogging is a lawn haul project I'm finding. Yes, it is lawn haul. Like it doesn't happen overnight, because what it is, it's mostly because of Google. Because when you make a new blog, Google will put you in the sandbox, they call it, for like up to 6 months to a year, and before they'll index your content. And plus, there's a lot of there's a lot of top businesses out there that have blogs of their own, and a lot of times they'll rank like much higher in Google, because their domain authority is very high, like up to the 90s. So it can be difficult to place. But if you have a niche blog, like my blog's a niche blog, it's for moms and finance, so that's a niche. So my niche blog, sometimes it will rank higher than top media blogs. Like my blog ranked higher, a blog post of mine ranked higher than a Forbes article, for instance, because it was very niche down. Because Forbes is just about for everything, like all business stuff, just it's not really tailored down to anything specific. But my blog was about mom stuff and like finance and everything, so that was more tailored down to a certain niche. So I was able to rank higher. So it just depends on what niche you pick, and the more niche down you are, the more money you'll make with your blog. Because then you actually will rank higher than these top businesses. Because that's the secret really to blogging, is to really niche down. Okay, well this helped you if you're out there struggling and nobody is like telling you that you can do it. You really gotta just tell yourself that you can do it. Don't worry about anybody else. Just worry about what you can do and yourself, and don't worry about what someone else says. Like filter it out. You know how a horse has these guides on the side of their head. I forget the name of this, but they just have it so the horse can just look forward only, because otherwise the horse will go, oh squirrel, and like go the other direction. But they have these hoods on the side of the horse's face, and it keeps the horse focused on the road. So otherwise the horse will just look everywhere and get all distracted. So you really got to just focus on your own lane. Like even divers, like they don't look at other people's lane. I mean, not divers, swimmers in the Olympics. They just focus on their own lane. They don't look to see what everybody else is doing, because if they did, then they'll lose time. So they just focus on their own swimming lane, and they don't look at what anybody else is doing. So you should do the same thing with your business. Like, don't look at what everybody else is doing. Just focus on your own unique business journey, because there are some people that are going to be faster swimmers than you, or faster runners than you, but just don't worry about them. Just focus on yourself and what you can do in your own business. And if you focus just on yourself and what you can do, then believe me, you're really going to make something of yourself. You're really going to do it. And I just believe in you too. I just know that you have it in you to make this happen if you're struggling. And again, don't listen to anybody else. Okay, hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.